Good evening. My name's Dylan Maurer. I had ADHD as my learning exceptionality. I enjoyed researching this exceptionality. Um, it's an interesting exceptionality. It's something that's become more prevalent over time. Something that we're going to see as educators in our classroom. It's going to be very prevalent. Something that we're going to have to be very attentive to, and we can't ignore it. And there's many other learning exceptionalities that we're going to have to be attentive to. Everybody else has a learning exceptionality they're studying right now. I look forward to looking at other people's videos and fact sheets and just kind of gaining more knowledge overall about each exceptionality. I really look forward to looking over all that and just gaining more knowledge overall. Just kind of want to start out with diagnosis with ADHD. It's usually, the symptoms of ADHD are present before the age of 12. It's a lot of parents think maybe that their kids have ADHD just because of inattentiveness. They might show some signs of hyperactivity, but usually that's not really the case. They need to have at least 5 to 6 symptoms present before they can even be considered to be diagnosed with ADHD. There's two kind of spectrums to ADHD. There's the hyperactivity, and then there's the inattentiveness. The hyperactivity is more in the adolescent ages, early, when they're 4, 5, 6. They're fidgeting with hands or feet or squirming in the chair, having difficulty remaining seated, running about, climbing excessively. But when it hits 12, 13, 14, it turns more into restlessness. Not so much running around fidgeting, it's more can't concentrate, tired, not able to stay on task. I'll switch over here to my fact sheet just to share with you guys some facts and things that I've found. I'll start out with the definition. It's a brain disorder marked by ongoing pattern of inattention and or hyperactivity, impulsivity that interferes with functioning or development. Some main facts that I thought were interesting, that I thought were the main things to go over as far as young adolescents with symptoms. They overlook or miss details, making careless mistakes in schoolwork. They're not able to stay on task. They're not staying organized. They have problems sustaining attention in tasks or play, including conversations or lectures or lengthy readings. They're not seeming to listen either. They might be looking at you directly with eye contact, but they might not be listening at all. They might be somewhere else in their mind. They don't follow through with instructions. They fail to finish homework, chores at home, or any type of duty that they need to get done. They can sometimes fail at that prevalently. They avoid or dislike tasks that require sustained mental effort, such as schoolwork or homework. This is for teenagers, especially. It's hard when you've got ADHD. You've got these tasks that require organization and concentration, but you can't stay on task. Your mind is just everywhere. You're losing things that are necessary for tasks or activities, school supplies, pencils, books, tools for anything, for group work, for homework, for a project. You're easily distracted by unrelated things or stimuli. You're stimulated by everything. Imagine sitting in a classroom not being able to, keep your concentration on one thing for more than 5 minutes, sometimes for more than 2 minutes. It's tough to keep your concentration on that stuff. They're forgetful in daily activities. They just cannot keep it all together. Some of the strategies that I found interesting. There was about 5 or 6 strategies that I studied that seemed really good, and I wanted to share those with you guys and kind of expound upon those and talk about those for a little bit. The first strategy is rules and instruction provided to students with ADHD must be clear, brief, and often delivered through more visible and external modes of representation. For example, if you're going to present rules to a classroom, this is kind of a principle of UDL as well. Go ahead and make a PowerPoint or some sort of visual tool for the whole class. Present those rules, but at the same time, you're going to benefit the student with ADHD. They're going to be able to see. You can go back and review that PowerPoint with those rules, with those instructions, not just rules, maybe instructions on a task, on a group project. When you can instill those over and over, you can go back. They have something to look at, to refer to. Consequences for behavior, they must be addressed more quickly and immediately. That's important, especially with a student with ADHD. They need to constantly be monitored as far as their behavior, and they need to, usually with a student with ADHD, the consequence is going to be more powerful right there at the beginning, right at the first start. You got to nip that immediately and make sure that they know what's happening, they know what they did, and they need to know right away, because if you give them time, that gap right there is not going to benefit them. They need to immediately know the consequence. On the other spectrum, rewarding. You need to make sure you're rewarding, throughout the day, not just at the end of the week. Positive praise, constant praise, because when you're giving that praise, they're knowing that they're on the right path. They're on that path. Or establishing a quiet chill out location for students. Sometimes students with ADHD get lost in the emotions, especially if they have behavioral problems, or if they get in trouble, or if they don't feel like they know what's going on. They can get lost emotionally, mentally, so they need a moment to clear their minds, organize their thoughts, take a moment just to sit back and think about what they need to do, and then they can come back. Another huge strategy was a productivity chart. I've been reading a PDF, a really good research PDF that I'll have in my bibliography about these charts, productivity charts. It just keeps students with ADHD accountable. That's the most important thing. Keeping them accountable, showing them, make sure that chart is in public view as well. They need to know, when they rate themselves on their productivity, you need to be right there with them. And if you don't agree with that productivity, you need to have that discussion. If you don't agree with the rating that they give themselves, that's when you have that discussion about what you need to do. And one last thing was using a watch or a timer with students with ADHD. It's kind of a positive pressure thing. It's not always negative to have timed assignments or a project, especially with a student with ADHD. It gives them a time frame. It helps keep them on task, and it keeps them right there focused and in on things. When they know they have limited time, they're less likely to be looking around, talking to other students, and getting distracted easily. But those are just some of the strategies and some of the information that I found over my research. I'll have all my websites in the bibliography if you want to check those out and just do a little bit more research yourself. You're welcome to check that out. And I've totally enjoyed doing this project. I look forward to looking at you guys' videos and fact sheets and expanding my knowledge as well on the different learning exceptionalities. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got something out of it. Thanks.